first up we have an avocado. Now don't let this avocado scare you off because you're not going to taste it at all, I promise. And it's going to replace some of the fat in the recipe in terms of butter, but you won't miss it. We'll need some cocoa powder. I got this at Costco, a nice big bag of it. And this is just natural cocoa powder. For more chocolate flavor, we're using Guittard extra dark chocolate baking chips, and these are 63% cacao. I think you can use, semi-sweet or just regular dark chocolate if that's what you have. We're going to use a banana for some of our sweetness. Just take your banana and place it in a bowl and mash it with a fork until it's nice and smooth and creamy. We'll need some maple syrup. Use the real stuff always, and this will help to not spike your blood sugar levels. We'll also be using a little bit of this monk fruit sweetener. I got this at Costco as well. And we'll need a little bit of butter. We'll need a couple of eggs, baking soda, vanilla extract, some salt, coconut flour, and our last item is some gelatin, which you don't have to use this type. You can use the other kind you see in the baking section. This helps to make this recipe a little more chewy. We're going to bake our brownies in an 8x8 baking dish here, and you want to line it with some parchment paper, which I cut out a square. And I'm also going to take just a little bit. I have some coconut, actually it's avocado oil spray here, and I'm just going to kind of coat it just a little bit so the paper will stick. And then you take your paper and you smash it in, and you can see that it just kind of stays where it needs to be. And then you can trim it up if you want to. And you can cut off some of the excess. You want to leave some because it helps to pull the brownies out of the dish when they're ready to be removed. We're going to place our avocado into a food processor along with a couple of other ingredients so that we can get this nice and smooth. And you really can't do it that well by hand, so that's why we're using the food processor for this. Make sure you have a nice ripe avocado. We're going to place our banana, mashed banana, in there already. In goes the maple syrup. And you can find all the ingredients in the description of this video. Click down below where it says show more if you're on a computer, and you can find it right down there. Here's our vanilla extract. Use the real stuff as well. And then we're just going to blend this up until it's nice and creamy. Make sure to scrape down the sides a little bit to make sure everything gets combined well. So all of our other ingredients, our dry ingredients, are going into a large bowl. Here's the cocoa powder, the monk fruit sweetener, the gelatin, the salt, coconut flour, baking soda, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of combine this up a little bit. So I've got my eggs here in a separate bowl. I put them in a separate bowl instead of putting them in the big pot or the big dish here so that in case the shells break, then I can go ahead and just get them out easily. So I'm going to place those eggs right in there with everything else. And I have the butter here melted just slightly. It's not hot. And then I'm going to stir this up a little bit to combine it. And you can see it's pretty thick. So now we're going to add the rest of our ingredients, which is our avocado mixture. And you want to just stir that all up to combine it. It's going to be a nice thick batter. Once you get it mixed up, everything's combined, we'll place it right into our baking pan. The last thing we want to add, we have a few chocolate chips that we're going to add a little more chocolatey flavor to this, and we'll just stir those in. Then we'll just pour our batter into our baking dish and spread it out. So just push it right into the corners and get it as even as you can. I like to top it with a few extra chocolate chips. Just sprinkle them on top. I love how that chocolate just kind of melts right on top. You see that? It's wonderful.